Welcome to the channel. My name is Rainy. I'm a pagan from the beautiful country of the Netherlands, and I owe you all an update because long-time followers of this channel know that this channel once began with me receiving a message from Odin himself. Well, you might be skeptical about it, you might doubt it, and that's okay. In my heart, I feel that's what happened. I'm not going to rehash the whole story again. I'll link the videos in the description below for those of you who are not up to date on everything. But the point is, there was this threatening voice from the sky who shook me to my core and gave me some advice. And I was so touched by this advice that I said, listen, if what you say is true, then I will not only come out of the closet as a pagan and say that I'm following Odin, but I'll build a temple in your honor. So now's an update on how's that going. Because we have some piece of land just in my garden, just around the corner here, which is perfect for it. And about 2 weeks ago, things were going really smooth. I hired a special company to help me with the permit because Holland is very, there's a lot of rules. So I hired a company and he emailed me, he says, from what I can see, Rainy, you don't even need a permit, but I will check it personally. I will talk to people within the city council and make sure that everything's okay. When everything's okay, you're good to go. At that same time, I got an email from the company who is going to build it, this structure, and they said, listen, January is usually a very slow month for us. So we have a special offer. If you order in January, we will give you 20% discount. So that's quite a lot of money. So I was like ecstatic. I was going like, I don't need a permit. I get a discount. Everything's going great. And that's when it happened. I don't think I'll ever forget this, but on the 21st of December 2023, on the shortest day of the year, on the darkest day of the year, I received an email. And the guy who helped me with the permit said, listen, I didn't read the fine print. Not only do you need a permit, but you're not eligible for a permit. It has to do, there are some certain rules. One of the rules in the city of Enschede, where I am at, is you can't build more than 30% of your land full with buildings. They don't like that. And I don't have 30% of my land full with buildings, so I thought, no problem. But there's small print, and the small print is, even though you're below 30%, if, I'm looking at the moon, by the way, full moon today, or basically yesterday. But if you, there's the additional rule that all your extra buildings on your land together should not be more than 100 square meters. And it doesn't matter how big your land is for that to apply. Now, we're already sitting somewhere, which is also in my garden. So there's this shed, and there's the part where we keep all our junk, part of the shed, and there's the garage, and there's the carport, and there's another carport. There are already some structures on my land, and when you count all of those up, you come to exactly 102 meters. So you are not eligible for a permit. Now that makes me feel real bad because, first of all, online, I tell people and people get enthusiastic. People want to help. They say, oh, great, let's build this temple. It's going to be wonderful and everything's coming together. And offline too, I have people coming here to the garden and to do ceremony, and everybody says, hey, how's it going? Yeah, it's going great. And now suddenly the government just kicks the legs right out of under my chair. Now, don't get me wrong. This isn't how the fairy tale is going to end. This isn't how my personal monomyth is going to end. But because, well, first of all, we have to handle the practical stuff. I still need to mail that guy who helped me with the permit back. And we're going to have to look if there are cracks in the wall that is before me and if I can slip to the cracks. We're going to talk to the city council and see if they can make an exemption, because there's more ground here in my garden than the other gardens. We're going to see if they can make an exemption on religious beliefs. We're going to see if we can bribe somebody. No, it's probably not wise to say that on YouTube. But the point is, I'm not giving up, because if I can conquer this and still get it built, it will be a massive victory, and it will feel really good. And on the other hand, there's some spiritual stuff that needs to be done now, because to be honest, I'm a bit shaken, because I'm a bit doubtful at this moment. I'm still going through with things, but for a moment, for certainly a few days, I was like, am I not who I think I am? Meaning, I really feel that building this temple is part of my life. It's, as the Indians say, my dharma. When I was younger, I never felt at home in Holland. Didn't really like the culture. Everything was about fast, fast, and money, money, status, status. And don't get me wrong, I'm not one of those people who say there's something wrong with money or status. I'm just saying that if you only have money and status and there's no spirit behind it, all the money and status will become empty. Doesn't matter if your bathroom is made of gold, you know. If you're not connected to spirit, you're still alone. But that's how I felt in my childhood, alone. So I traveled the world. I spent some time with the First Nations in Canada, and I spent some time with the Hindus in Bali. And I really wanted to stay in those places, because those had the connection to spirit that I lacked. But even though I tried to be a Native American and I tried to be a Hindu, it was not meant to last. So I finally, disappointed, I crashed down here in my native land in Holland, and I decided, well, I can't find it anywhere else, so I'll just put my feet on the ground in Holland. And yeah, apparently it just doesn't work. When I let it go, I found out that there's something inside of me. There is a native spirituality in the European soul. And I thought, this is actually what I've been looking for all my life. So it was my mission to build this temple and to do these ceremonies. Yeah, basically to heal my own wound when I was younger. Basically to show people, you know, there's Christianity, there's Islam, there's atheism, but I really want to be a visible alternative. I want there to be one. So that people like me, when I was young, you don't have to fuck off to India, you don't have to fuck off to Bali, you don't have to go to Tibet or Egypt to a lesser extent. You don't have to do all those things. I mean, you can still do those things, but I want there to be an alternative of native spirituality on Dutch soil. And I thought, you know, that was my dharma. It just connected. And now I'm thinking, if I don't get this permit, am I still who I think I am? Yeah, I probably am, but I need to find another way. Maybe we can build a structure that's kind of like still within the limits of the permit. We're going to have to figure a lot of stuff out. But for the first couple of days, it gave me a lot of doubt. Am I still who I think I am? I know I am who I think I am. But one of the solutions I also have is, maybe one day, when the temperature is better, I will go to a hunebed, to Holland's own megaliths, which I probably will do a video on that sooner or later. And my idea is to, just like the ancestors, stay there for a whole night, make lots of offerings, and come there with a pure heart and with this question, and see what the spirits of these ancient places have to tell me. Maybe they have a solution. Because at this moment in time, I don't know. I don't want to turn this video into kind of moaning and complain video, because I think men are not here to moan and complain. We're here to build and sustain. But I took a lot of people with me. You, like, yeah, we're going to do this. And now suddenly, the door is shut in my face. What I'm going to do about it, not yet. But I will tell you this. This is not how it ends. Maybe I will just, from the same money I would buy the temple, I would buy a nice fan, and I would take my god poles, and I would take everything I need to build a ceremony, and maybe I'll drive through Holland and do ceremonies also to Holland. It's also a possibility. So thank you for sharing this journey with me. I wish I had better news. I tell you this is not how the story ends. We keep walking. And we keep walking with the gods. So tot volgende week. Gaan we het gooien.